Hi, everyone. Thank you for stopping by Living To Do's review of Shirley. It's about Shirley Chisholm. It's played by our favorite Regina King. Regina King is playing Shirley, who is running for president, and this was back in 1972. So it's all about Shirley and her run for the presidency. Shirley Anita St. Hill Chisholm was born in 1924 in Brooklyn, New York, to immigrant parents, which I found interesting because I knew very little about her. Was watching it and could hear that she has an accent. And I wondered where she was originally born because, if you're not born in the US, you cannot run for president. And so found out she was actually born here in the US in Brooklyn, New York. She was a congresswoman in 1968 and her salary was $42,500 a year, the same as her counterparts. And they showed in one of the first early scenes about this guy who was also, he's a co-worker. He's in the same line of work, same position, same salary. And he just keeps bringing it up that he cannot believe that she is making the same amount of money as he is. I mean, all the time. It was just, I know it must have been hard for her. She was the only black woman in Congress. I think she's the first. And all the stuff that she has to endure, especially back then, there's no regulations on how you're supposed to treat people in the workplace. And this guy shouting out her salary every chance he gets, just and making her feel, trying to belittle her, was a big takeaway in that scene. But she put him in his place. Now Shirley was married. She was married for at the time she was married for 19 years to a very good, supportive man. Of course, she's making more money in the relationship at this point. I think he has a decent job too, and he's also, I can hear he has an accent too. So I think her parents her mother was from the Bahamas, I think, or somewhere like that. Anyway. Other notable people that were in the movie was Terrance Howard. He played a man named Arthur, and he later became her husband in real life. But in the scene that they showed when she greeted him for the first time, he extends his hand out for a handshake, and she grabs him by the neck and gives him a hug. It was just little moments like that. I go, are we going to see a love scene in this movie? But later we find out that she divorced her husband, and years later she married that man. Um, Also, the late, great Lance Reddick was in the movie. He played the advisor, Lance from The Wire, notably The Wire. He passed away last year. Did a great job in the movie. Brad James played Huey Newton of the Black Panthers. And Brad James is actually married to Keisha Knight Pulliam of The Cosby Show. And right now she's a host of the after party for Married at First Sight, a show I review every week. Check out my channel. And also the movie, it showed Governor George Wallace. We liken him to like a Trump type of character. And he was running against her, one of the few people that was running against her that for the presidency. And during this time, he was shot 5 times and he was hospitalized. And Shirley went to visit him in the hospital, and people kind of looked down at that because he's from the other side. But Shirley is a good human being. She's decent, and she went to go visit him in the hospital. There was an attempted attack on her previously to this man being shot. And I think she holds that in her heart. And plus, she's just a decent person. Other people were paying visits. It was for, more or less a photo op. But she went in, sat with him, talked to him, prayed with him. And he was touched by that. I mean, he had tears in his eyes. And later during her campaign, he kind of had her back. It was saying up towards the end. So it was nice to see that human connection, divided party lines, but she made the first step to make a decent human connection with him, which seems that was last longing, and in turn, when it counted, he had her back. I think that Shirley would be very proud of Regina King's depiction of her. I think Regina King did an outstanding job, and it was a good way to learn about history. I think people should watch it. Another movie out there about history that recently came out was Ruskin. That was really good, played by Coleman Domingo. He did a real good job. I think he won an award for that. I'm not sure it was an Oscar or not, but really, really good too. And I really found it interesting that Shirley Chisholm's name is Shirley Anita St. Hill Chisholm, because it reminded me of Anita Hill and all that she went through in a lawsuit, a court case against the Supreme Court Justice Terrance. What was his name? Clarence Thomas. There's a reason why I didn't remember that. Anyway, good movie. Recommend that you should see that movie. I believe it's on, is it on Netflix? It's out there streaming now. So watch that. Really, really good show or movie. And check out my channel for other movie and TV reviews. But that's it for now. I gotta go because I got living to do. Bye.